Hey, how you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. It seems like it's been forever since I did anything like this. Um, I guess get the accounting out of the way. First and foremost, Heroic Tales #1 is still available on Fund My Comic. I'm done with fulfillment. Everything is out. If you ordered the comic, it's in the mail. It's in the mail. A bunch of people got it already. All the digital files were released a little while ago. All the physical copies are either in your hands or in the mail as we speak. The last thing to go out was the pint glasses because I wanted to keep all the size boxes the same. And I did it all myself, sitting in this chair. Excuse me. I also have a cold. Not feeling the best right now, as you can tell. But I wanted to get it done in a week, and I was a couple of hours later than I thought, but I can't complain. I can't complain. So there you go. So if you didn't get your comic, check, wait 2 weeks and then reach out to me. If you didn't get it in 2 weeks, we'll figure out what's going on. I know Marcus's, they tried to deliver on the 19th. There was a problem. Maybe I typed in the wrong address, or I don't know, but they're going to try again on the 24th. So that's Marcus. Joe Dog, how you doing, Joe Dog? I love that Teen Titans George Perez avatar. How you doing? So everybody's out there. If Fabrizio Aiello is watching, yours was the last package to ship. I don't know why. It's just the way it worked. Fabrizio, when you get yours, that means everybody's got that. Well, you're actually closer to me. So there you go. Oh yeah, Chuck Woolery died. Chuck Woolery died. Host of Wheel of Fortune Daytime. He hosted that Chuck Woolery, didn't he? He hosted so many shows. Ernest, it's so good if you haven't bought your copy. Ernest got his already. And forgive me, guys, I'm going to be blowing my nose. I apologize. I'm just sick as a dog. So I don't want to hear anything. During the course of this comic book, I was working a full-time job in construction. I was doing it. I can't say myself because I had a bunch of people, but I was the guy hiring people. I had hernia surgery. I had 6 hernias. Then I broke my neck, and now during fulfillment, I'm sick as a dog, fever, coughing. So what's their excuse? But anyway, there you go. That's all the drama I'm going to start today. All right, so if you got my comic, would you be a dear and post something on Twitter? Hashtag Heroic Tales. It's so good. If you don't like it, don't do it. But if you like it, every little bit helps because issue #2, the script is so much better because issue #1 was getting your toes wet. Issue #2, I want to debut Mary Sue. Issue #3, I want to debut my Batman character. Issue #3, I changed the schedule around because Renzo wanted to draw dinosaurs. So there you go. There's dinosaurs in issue #3. It's a time travel story. I'm really strict about time travel stories. And issue #5, it was scheduled to also have dinosaurs, but I don't know if I want to do 2 dinosaur issues in a row. So I might do the follow-up to Mary Sue. So there you go. But every issue features the Patriarch. Every issue features the Patriarch. Issue #2 is another standalone story with the Patriarch. Issue #3 is his origin. Issue #4 is him meeting the Batman character for the first time. And then issue #5, I'm not exactly 100% sure which Patriarch story I'm going to do. Yeah, issue #5 might be, him interacting with his family more often. But there you go. So there you go. Praetor #7. How you doing? How you doing, Praetor? Okay, so I don't have a lot of time today. I kind of got to be out of here at 11 o'clock. I have to drive to Queens. I told you if you've been watching the channel, there's my old next door neighbor. She's 92 years old. She needs to go food shopping. She doesn't know how to order anything online. She's a product of her time. So if I don't take her food shopping, she starves to death. So I got to go drive to Queens. and there you go. So, and I think I haven't seen the link yet, but I'm supposed to be on somebody's channel at 5:30. So I just want to hustle, get out there, take a food shopping, and then come home. All right, so this is the conclusion to the Nancy Rushman story. To the point when issue 86 came out, I was disappointed because it was like a whole new tone. It was a whole new story. I got emotionally invested in this. I think, but I had various issues of Marvel Team Up before as a kid. Like I keep saying, comic books just showed up in my house because I had 2 older brothers, I had 2 older sisters, I had plenty of cousins. Sometimes, back then people were just like, yeah, I'm done reading it. You take it. Comic books were like disposable pamphlets. Even at the time, 40 cents wasn't really a lot of money for, so they were kind of like treated as disposable entertainment. So kids gave them away, other people gave them away. So but I started, there was no Polis because I would go to the candy store and stuff like that. But I started actively collecting Marvel Team Up with this story. I just really like it. So we got Marvel Team Up, Shang-Chi, Black Widow, Nick Fury, and then this gentleman over here is the Silver Samurai, an AM, because this is Al Milgrom. Right? Who's the artist? Marcus. Am I wrong? Am I going crazy here? All right, so let's open it up. We got Chris Claremont writer, Sal Buscema and Steve Lola as the artist, Clem Robbins letterer, Ben Shawn colorist, Alan Milgrom editor, Jim Shooter editor-in-chief. Yeah, why did I say Al Milgrom is the artist? Who's the artist for the cover, Marcus? You know. So, the woman who never was. So here we have them fighting at the helicarrier, the Shield World Wonder. It's this flying impractical fortress that I just love. It's like one of those only things that happens in comic books. We kind of don't need this, right? We don't need that. I'm the only one here. So the last panel, Silver Samurai. Now I forget. I don't think he hit him with the sword. That's the problem with these laser swords, is like they can never actually hit anything because they cut through steel like a hot knife through butter. That's like one of those cliches that Chris Claremont uses over. So you can't actually make contact with Spider-Man. You know what I mean? It's so I think he like jumped backwards or whatever to avoid it. And now he's falling to his death. Now we have, so what do we have here? All this dialogue. Chris Claremont is very verbose. So this doesn't look any different. Oh, okay. Al Milgrom drew the cover. He did a lot. Yeah, I thought so, but then I doubted myself. Al Milgrom drew the cover. He did a lot of covers on books he edited. Okay. So we have here the story recap. What's going on? All of this verbiage, So Spider-Man finds a shy, demure redhead who bears a striking resemblance to Black Widow, Natasha Romanoff, but her personality is wholly different. It's kind of like, I guess today it would be dated or problematic or whatever. But Spider-Man's a knight in shining armor, and then she's a damsel in distress. Story as old as time. Spider-Man's protective instincts, he's a man, masculine. She's like, helpless and so he can't help but develop these feelings for her. But then when danger would look, she would like snap and beat the crap out of people. So Peter knows that she's the Black Widow, but like he kind of can't help but have feelings for this. Like, first off, she's redhead, Peter, that's his weakness, sorry guys. I'm going to be doing this throughout the whole video, and I apologize, but so she's beating the crap out of these Shield agents. Nick Fury helping Spider-Man, but he recruits Shang-Chi, the master of Kung Fu, to help him. And what's going on? We got the Shield Vikings. He's fighting Shield. And then we find out that Madame Mask, who's now going by the name Viper, she invented like a hypno ray, and she's like taking over the Shield helicarrier. So this is just like one of the many times Nick Fury had to go and beat up everybody in Shield. And she also has the Silver Samurai, who may or may not be hypnotized to deal with her, but he may have feelings for her. It's complicated. So they're just going around. She's like, Spider-Man is falling to his death. So she runs out. Remember, this is like one of her lesser known powers. It's kind of forgotten about. Her costume provides her with like a adherence ability. So she's sticking to and she fires a cable and saves Spider-Man. So I love this. She's like her limited sticking ability pulls her off the hull. So she fires another one, and here she is. she's caught between the helicarrier and Spider-Man, and she swings him in. And I love this. She is an athlete. She's a human athlete. At this point, she doesn't have any superhuman powers. I know they hint, and sometimes they outright state it, and then they change it. So I don't know. Maybe Marcus knows, but like, she was trained in like the Russian Red Room to be a spy. She was like a Cold War spy. But as we get farther and farther away from her Cold War, the Cold War times, like Nick Fury, they retroactively said he took like the zero formula that retards his aging. Now they're saying that Natasha Romanoff was given some sort of like Russian version of super soldier serum. I don't know. That's the problem with these like 70-year legacy characters. You know what I mean? Tony Stark was in Vietnam. Reed Richards and Ben Grimm fought in World War II. You can't do it. Time in comic books is elastic. So here she is straining. At this point, though, she's just a top level human. Silver Samurai cuts the piping, and now she's falling to her doom, and she's freaking out. As she freaks out, she switches back to the Nancy Rushman persona, and she's just screaming. Spider-Man sticks to the wall, and then he fires webbing. So I love this like little reverse. That would have looked so cool in a movie. This little reverse. Who's rescuing who? We got ads over here. Toy soldiers. Did anybody ever order these toy soldiers? There was a Roman Legion. I was so tempted to get as a kid. Of course, like every boy in America, I played with Little Green Army Men. But there was no need to order. Little Green Army Men were everywhere. I think they just grew out of the earth. But these, but the Roman Legions I was interested in. Just look at this, just art. Like, yes, Sal Buscema did the layouts, but Steve Lola, he really finished this. And you could definitely see the Marvel style in this, because I can't help but like see like this. At a casual glance, this is John Byrne, this is George Perez, this is John Romita. Just awesome. So look at this. The limited coloring over here, it just shows you like light and shadows. The principles are fully colored. It's all you need. Like again, I'm not targeting anybody, and I'm not trying to be mean, and I'm not trying to start drama or anything like that. But I do feel that like modern coloring, maybe my comic is, you could probably accuse my comic of it too, but like, you don't need every button colored. It's almost like distracting. It's like, what am I supposed to concentrate on? But you see how there's a layer of 3D? This guy is over here. He's way in front. This guy is in the middle ground, and these guys are in the distance. It's perfect. So now we got, and they even have like the glassy eye look. This guy's looking nowhere. This guy's looking at, but they make his face look blank. This guy's looking down, because they're all under hypnotism. We got Nick Fury dressed as Boomerang. And then we got the Star Wars trap. Boom. The door is shut, and gas. Kung Fu your way out of gas. Kung Fu your way out. I dare you. Shang-Chi. kung fu your way out of gas. And now Viper, this, you can see the limitations of this. This isn't the best face, I just noticed, but you can see now the president is he's giving a State of the Union address in Congress. So we got all the United States government, and the helicarrier is going to fly above it and crash. That's her plan. That's her plan. Teleport out with the teleport ring. You know what I mean? You know, which would leave the vice president, because the vice president is never there, right? The vice president is always in a secured location, away from the president, and things like that. I don't know. Does anybody know? Is the vice president at the State of the Union address? I'm being Mandela affected that I remember seeing him, but that's probably wrong. So here she is. She's basically stating her plan to us, because the Silver Samurai already knows it, and the SHIELD agents are just mentally enslaved dupes. And then boom. Want to bet how? With the card. So now we're going to learn how they kung fu their way out of gas. As the cargo was filled with gas, Colonel Fury led me into an airtight maze of passageways, which he said were known only to him, designed for such a situation. How convenient. Nick Fury knew secret passageways that were airtight, that only he knew about. Only he knew about them. You know, when you're Nick Fury, agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., you get to design airtight secret passageways that nobody else knows about. I can waste no more time on idle thought. The room is thick with armed men. I must deal with them. Look at that. That's just everybody was kung fu fighting. And as far as this is like the same outfit as Hong Kong Fooey. And then we got Nick Fury over here just shooting, and only one narco dart left in my gun. So Nick Fury is not killing his subordinates. He's narcoizing them. And this is his buddy, Clay Quartermain. This is like his boy, his, you know, a character that I've always liked. And as far as I know, he died in the Nick Fury vs. S.H.I.E.L.D., and that was what, like 80, 86, 89, and never came back. He's one of the few characters that died, never came back. But he was never a major character, but he was like always there. And then Nick gets shot. Boom. And they're not firing, you know, narco darts. They're firing real darts. And I just realized I've been ignoring the comments. Sorry about that. Al Milgrim did the cover. Okay. Eric the Guapo. How you doing, Mr. Handsome? How's everybody? Good morning. Good morning to see you. Good morning. Hell, I hope you have it. Oh, I was getting worried that a Sunday was going to go by without a blessing from Zactan. Everything will. Disordered this. Marcus refers to himself as this because he's not quite sure if he's human, but he ordered the toy soldiers. How were they? Lay a Loa. Okay, I have been pronouncing it wrong. Everybody else is saying hello. You're not sure? Not sure about what? Boomerang summons boomerangs from the elemental plane of boomerang. Yeah, 6th level spell, summon boomerang. Depashes away off everyone that worked with the airtight passage. Yeah, I know. I always wonder about stuff like that. And I know you're not supposed to, but like, who built the helicarrier? Who built these top secret things? Who built the Batcave? You know, did Bruce Wayne like lay all the cable? Did he bend all the pipe? You know, did you know? Are there did he have like Bruce Wayne tech guys? You know, that is there a secret like damage control like in Marvel Universe that builds all this stuff? You know, who built the Avengers? You could say it's military contractors. You know, they're on the up and up, but like, you know, all that stuff. Yes, the vice president sits behind the president's speaker house. Oh, okay. Is the whole cabinet there? I mean, geez, if there was a helicarrier and it led, or an intercontinental missile that Putin launched for the first time, that hits, you know, that's the whole government. Did Fury kill off? Don't know what happened there. No, he got a narco dart. Yeah, that like him and Alfred, and then Harold. You remember Harold, the hunchback that Chuck Dixon introduced, who does all the maintenance on you know, I always love that character. I never believed that Alfred and Bruce did all of that stuff, you know, and then Robin or whatever. But like, I do like that there's this like misshapen dwarf, almost like mythological figure that just lives in the Batcave and fixes everything. You know, like I do like I wish they had more of non-super agents, like operatives, like the Shadow that worked for Batman and did all of the day-to-day stuff, you know. And I know that would introduce weakness, but because, you know, but like that's grist for story, you know. Could the contractors work in the passageways and sections obfuscate what they were doing? Well, I'll tell you this: like I'm working on an airport and I'm building stuff. I don't know what it is. I don't see the blueprints. My foreman just tells me. I build it. You know what I mean? Like there's a chain of command in my company. You know, it's just foreman lays out the work. Very rarely do I actually see the blueprints, and I don't want to see the blueprints because that's a whole nother headache. But it's like, okay, so today, like he'll give you like 8 hours work at a time. So I could be working in top secret rooms and I don't know it, because when it's about 80% done, most of the workers go to another job and there's only a few people left. So I mean, I could believe that guys built it and don't know what they were. Alfred is the true superhero. Yeah. I like Alfred as the butler. I just find it hard that like a British, what's it, SAS officer, just, I'm going to become a butler now, you know. I don't know. I like Alfred as a character, but he's almost becoming as unbelievable as Batman these days. I think they have one person as a designated survivor in a separate location just in case of an attack. Okay, yeah, that was like a TV show. Like one of the members of the cabinet, like they randomly. There was one episode of the Batman that showed there were mechanics hired to mean. Oh, okay, the Batman, the cartoon, the animated series, which in my mind is the greatest iteration of Batman ever. So now we got more ads. We got the Johnson Smith Company. I always joke about this, and you know, maybe in a, you know, if I have stories in Heroic Tales that I have to tell, you know, I have to tell, and then once I tell those, I might have like time for like, you know, stories that, this is going to sound mean, but I don't like aren't important in the grand scheme of things. And I always wanted to make a superhero character that was like, he just bought all of these things and became like, he has x-ray glasses, he has this that really did confer strength, you know, he bought a ghost that followed him around and stuff like that. I think that would be funny. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 pages again, and I'll adjust the chat. So now we got the Silver Samurai. Now I'm seeing more of Lola's work and less of Sal Buscema. I wonder if like scheduling conflicts or whatever, but you know, this is less Sal Buscema, if you ask me. Oh God, now I got to sneeze. Then the Silver Samurai slashing around. We got Jimmy Carter over here. Oh God, this is what I got to deal with when I'm fulfilling comics. So we got Jimmy Carter over here, who I hope he survives so he could live to be 117 and vote for Kamala Harris. You know, and then we got Viper. What's going on? We got the Spider duo over here. Black Widow, Spider-Man alive and well and spoiling for a fight. So remember, I just love the timing of this. They were outside. You know, this is the kind of stuff that you can't teach. And I'm not patting myself on the back, but I think unless you read a lot of comics, like if you want to write a novel, you got to read novels. If you want to make a movie, you want to direct a movie, you got to watch a lot of movies. You know what I mean? If you want to write a comic book, you got to read a lot of comics. There's no ends, if buts about it, you know. And they were outside. Like, I have no doubt in my mind that Chris Claremont has a mental map in his head of this helicarrier and where everybody is. So they come smashing through. You can see like Spider-Man always looks good because you don't really need the facial features, but she's looking like a crazy maniac. And now we got all the superheroes regrouping over here versus these two, you know. And she's got a dead man switch, meaning if you take her out, the props stop and it just falls. So like we gotta take them out. And I love this. It matters not whether world crude oil reserves are sufficient to meet this here needs of those of the next decade. You know, they're trying to write Jimmy Carter in his own idiom. But I don't know. I don't like when they put real presidents in the comic because it dates it. You know, how could Spider-Man be in his 30s? You know, when 40 years ago he was saving Jimmy Carter. But the theory back then was people read comics for about 5 or 6 years and then moved on. So every 5 or 6 years you had a new audience, and for the most part that was true for the longest time. We are the freaks that read comics for 40, 50 years. You know, these problems were never supposed to be a problem. It was supposed to be, you're a fan of comics, you read them for 5, 6 years, you grow up, you get a girl, you get married, you get a job, you pay taxes, you move on. Your kids are now reading comics and they're not asking these questions. But freaks like me are reading comics for 46 years, you know. So she's going after Viper, but what if she reverts to Nancy Rushman? Viper will murder her. Shang, go after her. Don't argue, just go. I'll handle the samurai. So he leaps over Silver Samurai, tries to give him a vasectomy over here. It doesn't work. And Spider-Man's taking out the Silver Samurai, which is good. Silver Samurai, he's got like, you know, protective armor or laser sword and everything like that. You know, flee. He is you. This foe is above you, Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi, you know, as much as like you want to see karate guy versus samurai guy, he's just outclassed here, you know. Okay, you got kung fu. He's got a laser sword and kung fu. So there you go. Let's check out the chat before I love Dick Grayson as Robin. Yeah, I think that's everybody's favorite Robin. A TV show that was made about the Capitol being dark. Oh yeah, so there they got it. Like I always say, you show me a good idea, I'll show you a comic book that did it 20, 30 years earlier. I like how Spider-Man is one of the few characters to have a full mask. Yeah. I hate in the Marvel movies everybody's taking. Why does what's his name, Tom Holland, have a mask when he takes it off every 10 seconds? I love how Tony Stark comes in full armor and then his helmet comes off so he can talk. We all know it's, you know, don't take your helmets off. Don't take your helmets off. Don't take your mask off. That's too many important political figures one place. We don't want a King Ralph situation. Everyone dies off down to a lovely stony country dog catcher played by Pauly Shore. There you go. Pauly Shore is president. Couldn't do any worse than what we got now. True. Okay, let's turn the page. We got ads for Marvel Comics. Win a fantastic trip to a faraway place and be on Journey to Adventure. One of the 1,500 other great prizes in the Popsicle Sweepstakes. That was actually my pickup line in college. Hey, baby, you want to be in the Popsicle Sweepstakes? I got a popsicle for you. You know, didn't work. Surprise. So now I love this. Silver Samurai has a deadly laser sword that could cut through tempered steel like butter. And of course, it can't hit. It can't hit. Just like the Omega Beams can't hit. Just like lightsabers can't hit. Just like Wolverine's claws can't hit. You know, that's the problem with these types of weapons. That's why G.I. Joe, the cartoon, they had lasers. You know what I mean? Nobody knows what a laser is, so therefore a laser is effective or as ineffective as need be for plot. So he can't hit Spider-Man, but there has to be a threat. So he punches him right there, right in the web sacks, and he goes flying into this weird machinery that only exists in the Marvel universe. And now he swings the sword, and you could just see it's cutting through all the metal. Jimmy Carter's talking. I can't wait 40 years from now to vote for Kamala Harris. When I'm in a wheelchair, barely breathing, my great grandkids will wheel me out. I won't know what day it is, but I do know that I will vote for Kamala Harris. And then Spider-Man jumps up, hits him, and there's Laser Sword just swinging around. Spider-Man is not going to be hit by this thing. You know, he puts the Dr. Octopus maneuver. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, I think it was the very first. Sorry, guys. The very first appearance of Dr. Octopus. He shoots webbing over his eyes and blinds him. You know, so that's what he does to the Silver Samurai. Blinds him and then punches the sword out of his face. And now the Silver Samurai is close enough to grab him, and I like this. So he's got enhanced strength. Otherwise, you can't do this to Spider-Man. But this is pretty clever. Spider-Man runs up the machinery, sticks to the ceiling, and breaks free, and then just punches him right in the face. Right? He's wondering, where'd he go? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Boom. Right in the face. While Sammy's floundering around here wondering where I went, I'll finish this fracas with a haymaker. Old school Marvel talk was so great. It's what a revolt in development. It's clobbering time. I waltzed right into that one. And then I'll finish this fracas with a haymaker. It's distinctly like New York Jewish lingo. You know what I mean? It's. I used to talk like that as a kid. I didn't know. I was just talking like a Marvel superhero. I waltzed right into that one. I remember everybody laughed at me. What are you saying? You talk like a 30s gangster. No. And then here's Jimmy Carter over here. And then, let's address the chat. The Red Wedding. Yeah, everybody dies. Everybody dies. So now we have the big reveal. What happened to Natasha Romanoff, the Black Widow? So here's the sexy silhouette. She's sneaking up on her, and now, if you can see, the coloring is off, and the shape of the balloons are off. Why? Because it's the past. So she actually got shot by a SHIELD agent, knocked out, and then here comes the Viper over here. And very suggestive, but like at the same time, like it leaves it up to your horrible imagination. So here she is. Is she naked? Is she not naked? We don't know, but she's in pain. She's writhing. She's suffering. And then they have like machinery in the background. To me, that just makes it all the more like invasive, intrusive. Like here she is just naked in a laboratory, which implies people are studying her. It's just such a violation. And she's just tortured into, she refuses to talk. The interrogation lasted for days. And when, thanks to the careless guard, she saw a chance to escape. So she was trapped. It was just a careless human error of one of the henchmen that allowed her to flee. Now, remember, the Viper is using hypnotized SHIELD agents to do her bidding. So, you know what I mean? It was only a matter of time. That's just such like a movie and comic book trope that hypnotized people never serve to the best of their ability. Like their subconscious is always fighting. So that's so she went on a secret mission, and now like this hypnotism and torture, she retreated into this Nancy Rushman personality. And her deal was taking a terrible toll. To protect herself, her mind retreated to a shell, taking refuge behind a persona that was the antithesis of a Black Widow, the unassuming, all-American school teacher, Nancy Rushman. So there she goes. So there you go. That's the big reveal. But the thing is, we kind of knew that all along because, it wasn't a solid Nancy Rushman, Black Widow. There was a sine wave. Sometimes she would be back and forth into other personalities. So she's distracted by her own thoughts that Shang-Chi actually gets to sneak up on her. She's like, what? And then we'll vote for Kamala Harris in the future. She's the best, most qualified, Gitchianist candidate ever. And now that she's like, let me deal with this. Such a stereotype. Let me deal with this. It's personal kind of thing. And he's like, it never should be personal. It's if you're going into a fight, it's personal. You're fighting. He that's one of the things I like about Shang-Chi. He's always level-headed. Everything he says makes sense. He's always like assesses the situation and gives like really sage advice. But Samuel Liu told me he was racist, so we have to hate him. Screw you. You're racist. And everybody who created you is racist. Because Samuel Liu, who gets paid millions of dollars to pretend to be this guy, who never read a Shang-Chi comic in his life, told me that. So I love this. She's like an Eisner villain. This is like Pijel and Serif. So she shoots, and Shang-Chi gets murderized. Boom. And falls down dead. You killed him. I meant to kill you, and I will. Once I've stepped outside taking care of business, by pressing the switch, I turned off the helicarrier's main engines, and without my control module, there's no way they could be restarted. So, boom, she turned off the helicarrier engines, and now it's going to fall and kill off the Carter administration. Now we got letters pages. We got David Zimmerman. We got Kimberly McCartney, which is not true because women didn't read comic books. Women only started reading comic books when in 2016. Gail Simone told me women weren't welcome. Girls were always getting killed. So there was no women in comic books, except for her. She was in comic books. We got Task Force. We got a tank trap. We got superhero Mike, Mr. Universe Mensner's incredible muscle building plan. Heavy duty. Become a cop. Free $1 million cash. I always imagine that there really was just like a big bag of money that nobody claimed. You know what I mean? Just sitting there in like a warehouse in Brooklyn somewhere. Actually, Newark, New Jersey. I gotta forgive me. This can be annoying. Deathlock has a gun in the future. One of my favorite characters. Yeah. I always like Deathlock. Kirby. Makes sense that hypnotized people would not be as effective. Yeah. Happy Sunday, RJ Williams. How are you? Your comic is in the mail. I believe in the continuity of the person through the soul. Otherwise, it would be like Nancy Rushman died. I'm glad I believe in the continuity of person through the soul. Yeah. Nancy Rushman, in a way, does die, and you'll see Spider-Man kind of laments her passing. He liked Nancy Rushman, and he felt guilty for liking Nancy Rushman. Like he knew it was the Black Widow. Well, you'll see. We'll get to it. So now, all these props. Going forward, Nick Fury. I love Nick Fury. Just so freaking cool. He took the time to dress up as Boomerang, and he also took the time to put his cigar over here while he put his costume on and then take the cigar back. Can't waste a good stogie. So here he is still smoking in the middle of a fight. The whole U.S. government is about to get killed, and he still has a cigar in his mouth. So what do they got to do? Okay, here's our only chance. So now, if you remember, he got shot in the shoulder. So you actually see blood. There's actual blood. He's shot in the shoulder. He can't do shit. Forgive my language. So Spider-Man has to rip open the circuitry, and he's telling Pete what to do. We got to hotwire the entire helicarrier. So now we got. I don't know how they got there. This is like one of the few flaws in the story, as far as I was talking about how Chris Claremont had geography. Now, this is cool. This is climactic. But how did they get there? That is a little different. So what are they doing? They're fighting on top of one of the props. The props are spinning down. Now, I don't know the physics. I imagine there would be wind. But would this be a stable place? Like, would this, because they're still spinning. They're just slowing down. Would this be, could you stand there right now in the midst of all them spinning around? This doesn't spin. They spin around. So who knows? So now they're fighting. This is like Uma Thurman and what's her name? Lucy Liu fighting. So we got two hot chicks fighting. But the thing is, she's maniacal. So she's overly emotional. She has just like she's a villain. She's Dr. Doom. She's ruled by her emotions. If you know what I mean, that's what makes her a villain. Black Widow over here, in this particular moment, she's a super spy. She's trained. She controls her emotions. She lets out her emotions kind of as a ploy to sucker other people. That's what spies do. But right now, she is consumed by her emotions. So she's fighting not at her best. Why? Because she still has this Nancy Rushman persona, and she's just livid at the violation and everything that she suffered through. So this is just, crazy girl fight, up on top of the helicopter's prop. This is comic books. It's how'd they get up there? They got there. Like, you could say Black Widow got up there because she's got but how did they just up there? And it's just a perfect arena for them to fight. So now these two guys are just, they don't care. They got to hot wire the helicarrier. So now, like, you can see that the blades are slowing down. They're fighting. What do we got here? We got Marcus Kelligrew, bless him, putting up my comic. The only thing left to do as far as fulfillment is now I got to inventory what I have left because I still have trading cards left. I'm out of stickers. I put in a new order for stickers. Some people didn't get stickers. If you didn't get stickers, the Heroic Tale stickers, the Patriarch stickers, message me and I'll put them in an envelope and send them to you. So if you didn't get stickers, just let me know. It was either that or you wait another week because they're coming the 29th. If you want the stickers and you didn't get them, message me and I'll send you stickers in an envelope. It's just people dying in comic books. Uncle Ben, Batman's parents, mostly male. It's just, you're right. Mostly men die in comic books. It's not just women. It's character deaths, but I will say it's mostly men that die in comic books. It's mostly men that suffer in comic books. It's just that men aren't important. So we forget all the suffering and all the deaths that men, we remember the few times, like, I watched the news and they were like, this woman was just like, you got to understand this. We have a crisis in America. One out of 4 homeless people is a woman. I'm like, oh, wow. 1 out of 4. We got to do something about homelessness because 1 out of 4 homeless people is a woman. That's a nice way of saying screw the 3 men who are homeless. It's not 1 woman that's important. But anyway, we got Giant Man over here. We got Warriors of the Shadow Realm. I love this guy. He's just batting away cupcakes and Twinkies, just hitting away. You guys want some, boom. You want some Twinkies? Got some Twinkies, some cupcakes? I'll go out in the outfield. Cupcake to you. Twinkie to you. Fruit pie. It just hits the ground. Nobody wants a fruit pie. You want a fruit pie? I don't want a fruit pie. Maybe RFK will destroy fruit pies with his anti-poisonous food vision. So we got Jimmy Carter over here. What's going on? And boom, Spider-Man, Nick Fury. They restart the props just in time. How close you could see that the spire on top of the Capitol building snaps. Some call it a miracle. In the last possible split second, the helicarrier shudderingly ceases its precipitous plunge. How's that paragraph for Chris Claremont? Some call it a miracle. In the last possible split second, the helicarrier suddenly, I can't even read it. Holy mackerel. Some call it a miracle. At the last possible second, the helicarrier shudderingly ceases its precipitous plunge. And then we got time has passed. Nick Fury's talking to Shang-Chi, but Shang-Chi got shot. He's like, yeah, I deflected the bullet. And I pretended to die because I knew, I got to sneeze. I knew that Nancy Rushman, that you guys are going to watch me shudder precipitously before I, oh God, told you guys. I knew that Natasha needed a moment to find herself. Otherwise, she was going to be trapped in a moment. So he used his yin yang ability to oh God, got to sneeze again. So he goes outside. What happened? She's just sitting here contemplating the nature of the universe. So now we have a nice little heart to talk. I'm going to read these few panels. Yes, I'm myself again. Glad to hear it. Are you? I remember all that happened, my friend. Nancy Rushman, and you might have had something very special, very beautiful, but you're not her. And my feelings aren't hers. I'm sorry. Yeah, me too. You know, so Pete, he was falling for her. And Natasha, well, Nancy was falling for Peter, but Nancy and her are two different personas, you know. And a little while later, after he's leaving, the widow by herself on this gleaming titanium hull, thinking of what might have been. All her life, she's fought to be free from the fierce passion and tempered steel strength of an eagle. She chose her road long ago, and she's never regretted it. Every choice has its price, and she knows from every eagle, in order to be free, she must fly alone. So you get a hint that she kind of wonders too what would have happened. You know, Pete's a good guy. This is pre-modern. I don't even want to use the words that are coming to my head, what they did to Peter Parker. But Pete's a good guy. Pete's a good, he's everything you want. He's hardworking. He's loyal. He's, you know, he's got every positive masculine trait. And Nancy Rushman was attracted to that, which means that Natasha was attracted to that. Can't help it. And so, but she's a professional. You know, hero means sacrifice. And that to me is like the thing that defines you. If you're not willing to sacrifice, you're not a hero. But what does the Punisher? What does the Punisher sacrifice? You know, a regular life. He never wanted a regular life. You know, yeah, his family was killed, but he had no choice. You know, Peter Parker sacrifices everything. He you know, he's running out. He's, you know, he's failing out of college. You know, he's doing. He wants a regular life, and he just can't get it. You know, but there you go. There you go. They also have peppermint Twinkies. I don't like peppermint. Is Jimmy Carter was he in this comic too? Well, you know, they weren't disrespectful to the president. You know, that's one thing that they did. Like if Barack Obama's in the comic, they're respectful to Barack Obama. If you know Bill Clinton's in the comic, they're respectful. They're respectful to the office of the president, despite the personal politics of the creators, as they should. So kudos for them for doing the right thing. There should probably be a law to not let helicopters fly over America or its allies. Yeah. Well, you think it's SHIELD. They probably had, like, why wasn't it intercepted and blown up? You know, that would, if you ask me, that's something that needs to be addressed. You know, why wasn't jet fighters dispatched to attack it? You know, did the Viper hypnotize everybody? Or is there secret codes in the helicarrier? Is it undetectable? You know, because that big boner thing at the bottom of the helicarrier, that's supposed to be like radar jamming and everything like that. So maybe it's only detectable by human eye. But you're going to tell me that there aren't innumerable agents all over in the streets watching it, or did it come up so fast? You know, you could go down this rabbit hole and pick flaws in the story, but that, you know, this was 1979. Poor Petey. Yep. Heroes sacrifice their desires to protect others, but Black Widow does something for the long thing. She sacrificed it too, you know, off to church. Well, I'm closing down too, so see you later, Zach 10. So as normal, you know, I'm done with this comic. You can see it's well beat up. This is my copy off the newsstand. I love this story. The next issue is 86. It was The Invisible Woman, and it just had such a different tone that I couldn't like it. I still don't like it to this day. I'm gonna reread it because it's probably a good story, but it wasn't this story. I really, really liked everything about this. This was like superheroes, James Bond, you know, action, intrigue. This little, you know, 4-issue story just was so good. You know, they pulled Shang-Chi and made him fit into the story that he really shouldn't have fit in. It was just so good. I gotta look up. Is 86 written by Chris Claremont? Was it a new team? Because it just seemed like a filler issue. Like I said, I gotta reread it. Maybe it is good. It's just that it was like coming off of this high. It was so good. So there you go. I'm actively asking people to come back on the channel because I haven't been scheduling anybody because I was like really consumed with fulfillment. You know, comic book team up will be back. I'm going to ask Ed Lillard to come back because I said we'll do one more crowdfunding 101 because now that I've done every part of crowdfunding, I could finish talking about a couple of things that I learned. And it's probably some of the stuff that I like mailing and fulfilling and stuff like that. I could talk about that. What else? I think I'm scheduled to be on somebody's channel at 5:30 today, but I haven't gotten a link. Maybe I got the dates wrong. Between being sick and fulfilling it, to be honest, I haven't really been paying attention to much. I've been sitting in this. I come home from work. I sit in this chair. My wife brings me food, and I've just been bagging and boarding. I've just been listening to Dice Tower. I haven't read a comic book in like 8 days, which is a long time for me. You know, because I just wanted to get it done. I don't like having things hanging over my head. Now I just got to clean up. I got boxes, and you know, I'm looking like I got these peanuts just all over the floor and everything. I've been not letting the cats down here. It just looks like a UPS blew up down here. All right. Oh, 86 was written by Chris Claremont and the Guardians of the Galaxy. Okay, so 87 was the Invisible Woman one. Yeah. It just seemed like there was like fill-in issues after this, but the Guardians of the Galaxy one I did like. I like Shang-Chi is like, yeah, I could have ended it, but Natasha had to get a groove back. Absolutely. You know, but he was there watching. I mean, how would he have gotten up on that prop wash? But that's superheroes for you. Hail chat. I got my copies of Rogue Tales in my pint glass. We'll be reading the book later this week. Got it in excellent condition. Thank you. Go. Phantom Outsider, if I may ask, you know, you don't have to dox yourself, but what state are you in? You know, because I mailed everything from New York. My buddy Brian, one of my high school friends, he got his in Portland. So I think, Portland. So as of right now, Portland is the farthest that a pint glass has went and survived. Okay, Phantom Outsider, you're in New Jersey. Cool. Phantom Outsider, if I may ask, if you take a picture, put it on Twitter, you know, give me a good word, you know, you know, if you hate the comic, you don't have to do anything, but you know, just to help a brother out. Logic's Finest is here. How you doing, Logic? How's it going? What Geeks Do? What Geeks Do Network? Yours is in the mail as of yesterday. Yours is in the mail as of yesterday. So yours was in the last batch of stuff. So you'll get it in a week. Sorry, it's just the way the cookie crumbled. I didn't prioritize. I just went through and did just Gemini mailers. Boom, 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 boom. Otherwise, you have to constantly reset everything. So I just did Gemini mail, Gemini mail, boom, and then I did all with pint glasses because I had to use different shaped boxes. So the pint glasses went last. Greetings from Raleigh, North Carolina. Dr. Crow's Carnival. How's it hanging? Listening while at work. How you doing, Dr. Crow? How's it going? I'm in New Jersey too. Good. My sister's in Jersey. Got my pint glass in great shape in Alabama. It's funny because I used a lot of styrofoam peanuts. You know, these things. I was told that these are the best, but I ran out a few times, and I just started filling. The comic books come with a sheet of paper in between them because what they do is they stack them right off the press. And what they do is they give you two options. One option is they're stapled, they come off the press, and then the last thing is just a piece of paper, and it protects. So when you stack them, the ink doesn't touch the ink and mess it up. but it could come stapled, or they could just hand insert. It's a little bit more for a hand insert, but I hate that stapled piece of paper. I had a couple comics that came with that. I was like, I hate this. So I got thousands of these. So I crumpled them up, and I use these as fillers. So some people, it looks like they got boxes of litter, boxes of my garbage. And I guess in a way you did. 87 was the fill-in by Grant to the Black Panther. So what was the Invisible Woman one? 89? It's funny how will do. Got here the other day. The UPS guy left it on the edge of the porch in the rain. When I got home, it was soaked, but well-packed contents were bone dry. Great. Well, everything, all the comics came bagged and boarded and taped and sealed because so the comic, I think even if submerged in water, I think the comic itself should be good. And the pint glass, I wrapped them in bubble paper and taped them shut. But even if they get wet, it's the glass. But it's good to know that your box was out in the rain and everything. That is awesome. If you could say that too. 88 was The Invisible Girl, Chris Claremont. Okay. Does everyone use those Gemini miles, or that just because? I just know that I've been back in so many that I had 89 Gemini mailers from previous campaigns. So I tried to I was trying to be funny, like I got Wolf and Batsy in a Gemini mailer. So when Brian Bow ordered, I used that Gemini mailer that had said Wolf and Batsy, and put his comment. So sent him back. There you go. You bought this Gemini mailer. I returned it to you. Things like that. One guy's going to get a Gemini mailer and it still says Cyberfrog tape on it. I couldn't peel it off. So there you go. I've always got these. Yeah, except for your boy Zach. He just like puts a piece of paper in plastic, shrink wraps it. I hate it. I know you got to put them in Gemini mailers. And you got the cards too, right? Everybody got the cards. Just make sure I didn't miss the cards. Torchbearer is here. He's late. Good night, everybody. Torchbearer is here. It's time to leave. Well, I got to shut down. I got to leave. I got to go drive to Queens, take the old lady food shopping. So, yeah, yes, I am rushing off. I've never backed your boy Zach. I'm done. His comics are bad. I'm sorry, Zach. Rock and Roll Ninja was good. Rock and Roll Ninja was excellent, but that was written by Chuck Dixon and drawn by Matt Byer. But Jawbreakers, it's a mess. It's a mess. Please. Marcus is the only one in this chat now. I got a bunch of people in the chat. Marcus is the only one that I know actually read the comic. So, Marcus, let me know. Does the comic make sense? Is the storytelling good? That is, like, we all know Lorenzo's artwork is excellent. We all know Daniel's coloring is excellent. But is the storytelling good? Is it confusing? Marcus, were you ever at all confused of what's going on? Was it a logical conflict? To me, that is what makes a good comic or a bad comic. Is it disjointed? Are you confused? Do you have a hard time? At any point, you're like, what's going on? Torchbearer. Oh, that's right. That's right. You read the comic too. Yes, you read it. Makes sense. No confusion. Excellent. That's my main concern. Excellent. That is it. Like I had my wife read it. She's not a comic book fan. She followed the story. Made it. What's funny is I got two friends. One of my friends I told you was the PhD. She read the script and started giving me criticism that didn't help. I'm really confusing to see what she has to. I'm real confusing. I want to see what she has to say. And my sister hates reading comic books. She says they make no sense. They're confusing. She doesn't know what's going on. So I want to hear if she read it and what does she say. My friend in Portland said he's never taken them out of the bag. Kind of hurt my feelings. I was like, you're supposed to read it. I wrote a script. I should have just had blank pages. He's just like, I'm going to put it in the bag, put it away. It's a keepsake. Blah, blah, blah. A couple of guys at work like, oh, I'm not reading it. They think it's going to be valuable. One guy bought 9 copies at work because he thinks it's going to be worth. He's like, oh, number one comics. I'm like, dude, my comic is never going to be worth any money. I don't know what you're thinking. And it hurts my feelings when people don't read it. I read it. It's great. Oh, thank you. Yes, that's right. Ernest, you told me. Don't tell anybody there's mistakes. There's 2 typos that I'm aware of. I have 2 friends. Well, keep in mind, we haven't seen each other in 30 years. You know, he moved to Portland, the other side of the country, away from me. So they go, hey, we got Master Swag over here. How you doing? Master Swag? I forgot if you back digitally or did you back physically? Oh, the beard is looking good. Thank you. All right, well, but I would love to stay in chat, but like I said, I can hear my wife upstairs walking around. We got to get going. This is never a pleasant chore. It is never a pleasant chore. I don't even want to get into, but I got to go take the old lady, not my wife, a literal old lady, 92 years old. She's got no relatives. I used to take her food shopping when I was her next door neighbor, but now I moved out to Suffolk. It's like an hour drive there, circle around looking for a spot. Then I got to walk her to the car, take her to the supermarket. Last time I took her, I'm whispering like she can hear. Last time I took her food shopping, she shit herself in the supermarket. All over the floor, screaming and yelling. I walk her, I go into the bathroom. It's up 2 flights of stairs. Poop up and down the stairs everywhere. She comes out, crap all over her. We just bought this car because I crashed my car. So luckily my wife was with me. She bought garbage bags and had to cover the seats. Took her home. Oh my God. It was just, it's not fun. But that's what if I don't take a food shopping, who will? But see ya. J-Bot, yours is, yep. I don't want to dox your name, but I think I know your real name, and I think you're comic. Well, all comics. If you back the comic, it's gone. She needs to be adult diapers. Yeah. This is the lady, when you tell her what to do, she yells and screams at you. And now she's super losing weight. And it's a fact of life. Once you're in your 90s and you're just losing weight, what do you got? 6 months? You got 6 months left. So I don't fight with her. You know what I mean? Just, you know what I mean? What are you going to do? You know, me, I was going to say some morbid stuff, but there you go. Thanks a lot, everybody. And I'm going to end it now. Bye-bye.